So, I decided to make a video of my coming out story, not more for myself, but to hopefully help someone else out that was in my past situation. So, coming out is really not an easy thing to do, and what I have to say about it, for someone who's thinking about coming out, is it kind of seems like the end of the world when you think about it. But once you come out, it's more like you look back at it and you're like, really, I was really panicking myself that much over something so little. Though I will say, and not every case is the same that way, because everyone's situation is different, especially from mine. Your situation is completely different, just like every person is completely different. So, with that in mind, if you are contemplating about coming out, I think you really should. Because it's better, especially if you're a teenager watching this video, it's better to get it out now, especially this is being your time when you're finding yourself. So it's not only benefiting you, it's benefiting others to cope with that if they are not already okay with your sexuality being different than their morals and values. So keep that in mind. But let's go back to summer of 2012. This is when I really started, I don't know how you can say this. I was really getting frustrated with not being able to be who I am. Personally, even though I'm not that flamboyant, feminine type of gay, you can still feel different coming when you're out than when you're in the closet, whatever you want to call that. But, so I was really starting to think about coming out. So I was watching a lot of videos on YouTube, which is pretty much the reason why I wanted to make this video, because I found those videos helpful. So why not share my story? Maybe I can help someone out. So that's when I was watching videos, reading a lot of articles, and even checking up on people's questions on Yahoo Answers is pretty much where you can get a lot of information from that, though it's not the best information or the best answers, but sometimes it's helpful. So, I keep getting off topic. I was talking to this person I met on Miles J's channel, which I think he's also, though he's out of the box, he's a good example of being yourself. So, check him out if you'd like. But, I met this person on there. He commented, I remember it was about he was asking Miles J how he can go about coming out to his parents that are really strict and conservative against gays, especially gays. So I really felt like I could connect with this person, so I messaged him and we became really good friends. Though he lived across the country, we still could relate in the situation of being closeted in our family. So we decided that we'd pick a date and we set that as our goal for when we want to come out. Though you really can't choose a date when you want to come out. It's more of when you're comfortable with yourself, and you definitely need to be comfortable with yourself before you ever think about coming out. If you're not comfortable with yourself, don't even contemplate coming out at all. But when you do come out, you know when it's the moment. You know that's the right moment to do that. So we decided on a date, which I'm still saying is a bad idea. Don't pick a date at all. Which was August 1st, 2012. And both went about doing different things when we came out. He decided he was going to have a sit down with his mother, and me being very afraid of my mother's reaction, decided I text her, which is definitely not a good idea. Texting, no. Especially when it comes out. When you're coming out, do not text. I'm telling you right now. That's probably the worst decision. So the text message was sent while she was at work, and sadly I do not have those messages anymore, but it was something more on the lines that I'm gay, pretty much just really blunt, straight to the point. But yeah, so I got a response from her a little while later because like she was pretty busy, I guess, that day, and she asked me if it was someone joking around on my phone, hacking me, which is not a funny joke. Don't do that to people. But and I told her I really didn't respond. I was really scared, so I just didn't respond. But when she got home, she asked me again if it was someone messing with my phone, and I told her it was not, and pretty much just ended the conversation there. Mostly like an hour later, she called me to her room to talk, and she asked me why I was gay, which is really not a question I can answer. I don't know why I'm gay. I'm pretty much born this way, as Lady Gaga would say. But she was really concerned that something had happened to me on the lines of being molested or sexually abused, where from someone, male or female, which is why I'm gay, which is definitely not why. And she even thought about getting me a therapist to talk to, which I thought was a little ridiculous because you take my word for that. Trust me, if something happened to me sexually, I'm going to tell you. But when she really realized that what I said was true, she definitely went into denial, and that really had an impact on me because at that point I really just wanted my mother's approval on it and support, because being a teenager and being gay, lesbian, or bisexual is really a hard thing, especially with people these days in schools or in general public are not accepting of that type of sexuality. So when you don't even get your support from your parents, it's pretty hard. And my case is probably not the worst, but it's definitely not good, because it's definitely not the response people want to get when they come out. But you always need to keep that in mind if you are thinking about coming out, that it's not always going to be good, but sometimes it really is. So that was almost 2 years ago now. It's a year and a half. And my mom really isn't accepting of it that much, though I'm not in the closet and I've had a boyfriend and stuff and he's been over it, but she's still pretty strict on it. But that's fine. That's her opinion and that's her values and her beliefs. I guess I just have to deal with that for now. But what I really want is for her to eventually be accepting of it, of my lifestyle after high school and after college, when I could possibly be getting married or having a long-term relationship with a male. That's really when I need that support. So we'll see what time tells. But that day after she really realized stuff, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was a knock at the door, and it was my grandmother. And my grandmother, she's like down to earth. She's really cool, and she definitely does not care if I'm gay. She should have been the first person I told, because she really doesn't care. And actually, she supports it a lot. So at least it's not such a bad thing that my mother doesn't support it, because at least I have some of my family supporting it. So she came to pick me up that day. I don't know. My mom just really couldn't deal with it, which I thought was a little crazy, but I don't understand how it really affects her, more affects me. But everyone is different, I guess. So I went to my grandmother's house and had a talk with her, and she was definitely cool with it. She was like pretty much asking me the same questions, asking if I sexually abused or not, which I wasn't. But it was pretty good once I left. But I'm still trying to get my mother to accept it, but I can't force her. Can't force people to do anything. Keep that in mind. But my coming out story is not the best. But another thing is, coming out to family is one thing, but coming out to your friends is another. And really, I wasn't that afraid of coming out to my friends. I already knew they were really accepting of it. Because before I came out, I really asked questions a lot, like, what do you think of this person if they were gay or lesbian or bisexual? How do you feel about that situation? Like, I pretty much investigated it a lot, or observed how people reacted around people of different sexualities. So I knew they were pretty cool with it. So when I told them, it did come to them as a surprise. I guess I don't come off as gay, but definitely am. So I really didn't make an announcement to my school because it's really not any of their concern. But if people do ask me, and they're not asking me in a rude way, I will tell them I'm gay. I really don't have a problem with telling people, but I'm not going to announce it for everyone to know, because in reality it's none of their business. But when it comes to your family, you should tell them. And I'm going to encourage that. You do have to keep in the back of your mind that it could possibly go differently than what you're expecting, which could be good for you or bad for you. But in the end, it's really a good thing to do, because a year and a half later from when I came out, there's a lot of things that have changed, and I'm not feeling like that pressure on me of what if something happens, or what if she sees my text messages to this person, or how she comments about people of different sexualities in public, because that doesn't just, it's not just words coming out of her mouth, it's words that are coming out of her mouth and impacting me. So there's a lot of benefits of coming out to your family, and it's just something you need to think about. And like I said, if you're not comfortable with yourself, then you should not do it at all. You need to be comfortable with yourself, with your sexuality. And really, if you don't know what your sexuality is, then that's fine. You have plenty of time, especially if you're a teenager watching this. You have plenty of time to discover yourself, so don't feel like you need to know, and don't feel like you cannot be different just because of other people's opinions on things, because that's what you have to live in life, different opinions. So I'm pretty accepting of people who don't like gays or bis or lesbians, because really their opinion is not going to change me. So that's just my view on it. But definitely like to help people if there are any questions, or if you'd like some advice, because I know I really didn't get every detail in this video, but I definitely can say I'm pretty good with helping people out. So yeah, just let me know. Definitely can message me on here, and I try to respond quickly with a response to help you out. So don't feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. There's definitely plenty of people to talk to. Not only people on YouTube, there's places you can call anonymously and talk about this, or chat sites. And there's definitely a lot of blogs and stuff that talk about this that can help you out if you're lost or confused. Not lost, let's take lost out if you're confused. So yeah, there we go. Well, let me wrap this video up because it's getting long. But like I said, if you need anyone to talk to and you're watching this video, definitely feel free to message me, leave a comment, and I think I'd leave my Twitter down there for direct message if you really wanted to talk about it and be personal. Just let me know. And I wish everyone good luck if you're thinking about coming out. And like I said, make sure you're comfortable with yourself before you make any decisions. And smile, because that's all you really can do in life is smile.